Hey guys, my name is Tiffany. I'm a math grad student at Western Carolina University. I'm doing an experiment for my Design of Experiments class. It's Math 672. I am a member of Team Backyard Bow Pro, so I really enjoy deer hunting with my bow and archery. So for my experiment, I decided that I would test some of the factors that have an effect on arrow placement when you shoot a compound bow at 20 yards. Okay, so the factors that I chose were sitting or standing and either a 3-second or a 10-second drawback time. I chose these because oftentimes in the deer stand, the deer's looking at you, so you don't have time to just stand up. So sometimes you have to sit down, and I just didn't know if that would create an influential difference in the accuracy of your arrow. And I did 3-second, 10-second drawback time because I wasn't sure if it's better to draw back and just go with your first instinct, or if it's better to hold it for a while and, hold your arrow on your deer and just get a more accurate placement. So those are the factors that I chose. So each person that I chose, they had to do a 3-second sitting, a 3-second standing, a 10-second sitting, and a 10-second standing. Okay, so the type of design that I used was a 2x2 factorial design, since I had two factors, each with two levels, the sitting and standing, in the 3 seconds and 10 seconds. So that makes up my 2x2. But I also had blocking because I had all 5 of my participants shoot all 4 of the factors. So that creates for a 2x2 factorial with blocking of 5 people. Okay, so because this is a randomized design, I had to randomize. I used an R code where I had it generate 5 numbers, the 1 through 5, and I'd alphabetize everybody that was in my experiment and assign them a 1 through 5 number, and I had R randomize those numbers so I could have a randomized order that everybody was going to shoot in, and then within each shooter I would assign them numbers 1 through 4, and each 1 through 4 was one of my factors, like sitting in 3 seconds, standing in 10 seconds, or whatever the factor might be. So I randomly assigned within each shooter the 4 different factors that they were going to have to do that day. So it created a randomized design, and then each person went in order every time they shot, so that there was the same amount of time between each shooter, so that there wasn't going to be a factor of, well, they shot 2 minutes ago and this other person shot 10 minutes ago. So I kept that the same throughout so that that wouldn't be a factor. So then I had a completely randomized design. Okay, so once we randomized the design and we randomized the order of our blocks, which were our participants, and we randomized the order that they participated in the experiment as well as the order that they shot in, we had them carry out the experiment. I used a stopwatch and timed them for 3 seconds and 10 seconds depending on which rotation they were on. And whenever I said shoot, they would have to just release whether they were ready or not. And I feel like some of the problems that we encountered were 3 seconds was just a little too short because you didn't have time to really get the bullseye in your sights. 10 seconds was a little too long because your muscles started to get tired and you get a little shaky. So hopefully this is going to present some interesting data for us since we chose 2 total extremes. Okay, we're kind of going to go over the scoring process that I used today. This is the target that we used. I had all of my participants aim for this middle ring. The bullseye is worth 0 points. The next white one is worth 1. The next red one is worth 2. The outer white one is worth 3, and the outer red one is worth 4. And if they went anywhere outside this red ring, it was worth 5 points. Okay, so this is Robert. He's going to demonstrate to us how we had the 3-second with the sitting down factor. Each participant shot 3 arrows, so now we're going to have Robert demonstrate how they would do that first factor. Shoot. 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 Okay, so this was Robert at 3 seconds sitting down. So this arrow right here would score 3, this next one right here would score 4, and this one over here would be a 5. So he would have a total score of 12. Okay, so now Joe is going to demonstrate for us how he did the 10-second standing factor. Shoot. 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 All right, so this was Joe at 10 seconds standing up, and we have a score of, the bullseye would be a score of 0, and then 1 for the outer ring, and then 5 for this one way up here. So you have a score of 6. Okay, so now that you've seen how I've carried out the experiment and what we've actually done in the backyard, we're going to head on over to the classroom and talk about how we can use that data to come up with some results.